Hi everyone. So I hope everyone is having a fabulous weekend, and I am going to show you today how to make these fun, inspirational girl power cards using some products from Simon Says Stamps' new Rest and Refresh release. In particular, the star of the show is going to be the round and round background stamp. So let's get started. And I'm going to take a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock, go over it with my anti-static powder tool, and then I'm going to ink up this lovely round and round cling stamp with the Versamark ink. And I'm going to press that down into my MISTI. And now I'm going to take some gold embossing powder, and then we're going to heat set that, and that is going to be the backdrop for our card. And I really love this round and round background stamp. There are a lot of different ways you can use it. You can watercolor this, you can color it with Copic markers, you can use it just as I am here, just with the embossing powder. I think that this would be a good look to just leave it as is, but we are going to go over this panel with some Distress Oxide inks in some pretty rainbow pastel colors. So let's get started with that, and I'm going to start with Squeezed Lemonade, and I'm just going to put a little smudge of that, and then I'm going to follow it with some Spiced Marmalade, and working my way through the rainbow, we're going to go into some Spun Sugar. And I'm not really following any pattern. I'm just trying to keep the colors of the rainbows close to each other so that they blend nicely and so I don't accidentally make brown. So the green was Twisted Citron, the blue was Tumbled Glass, and then this lilac is Shaded Lilac. And those are all the colors that I'm going to use here. I'm just going to blend everything together really nicely, and then I'm going to go over everything with a tissue in a second, just to buff off any of the Distress Oxide ink that I may have gotten on top of the gold embossed lines. And also I wanted it to be a little bit more pastel, so I'm taking some of the ink off here. Now I cut it down into a 4 by 5 1/4 card panel, and then I'm going to take my corner cutters and I'm going to cut the corners so that they're nice and rounded. I thought that since this is a girl power card, I just thought that having feminine rounded edges would be nice here. And I'm attaching it to a card base that I also rounded the edges on. And now I am taking the CZ Design wafer dies. These are the Archie Junior solid alphabet font, I guess. And it is from the Blossoms and Butterfly release. And I took the letters to spell Girl Power, and I also cut out a little hashtag, and then I cut all of my letters out 3 times on 110-pound cardstock, and then I glued them all together so that we have a nice sentiment that stands up off the page. I find that 3 to 4 layers of cardstock, I always prefer that when I'm adding text like this to a card. And I just applied the words so that I kind of followed the curved lines of the circles along the page. I thought that was a cool look. And then I cut out this sentiment from the Rest and Refresh sentiment strip set. It's sentiment strip number 4, and it says stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. So I think that's just a great sentiment for this girl power card. And then I'm just going to take some clear sequins that I had on hand and just add them in kind of a diagonal pattern across the card just to give it a little bit of interest. So there's our first girl power card. I just love this. I can't wait to give it to one of my best girlfriends. And I also have another that I made. And this one, the difference is I made the sentiment, get it girl. I did that with inlay die cutting, and I will I'm not going to show how I did that here because I didn't film it while I was doing it, but I'll link a video below where I did this technique with another card. And I also used a sentiment from this sentiment strips number 4. That's part of the Rest and Refresh collection by Simon Says Stamps. And there are all these great ready-made sentiments, and you just cut out what you need as you need it. And the sentiment that I used here says never forget how wildly capable you are. But then there are these other great sentiments like follow your dreams, believe in yourself, and never give up. It's also another great sentiment for a Girl Power card. And in fact, there were lots of good examples that I could have used from that sentiment strip set. So that's all I have for you today, everyone. I am still making some more Girl Power cards, so if you want to see some more, be sure to head over to my Instagram page and check me out there all weekend. And I hope you give these cards a try. They're a lot of fun, and I think your best girlfriends would just love to receive them. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon in the next video.